Okay, Coach, 2 for 2 to start the Invitational, another sweep. How was this one?
It feels good. And I think we talked about the theme of the weekend is us. So I thought we started a little bit slow, but I think we thought we got better in the first, and I thought we got better throughout the match. So I'm happy about that.
Another balance showing on offense. And I feel like every time we talk to the girls, they always talk about the unsung hero, Maddie Wack. 37 assists today, spreading the love around. Kind of talk to me about her performance.
I've said it the entire year. I think she's a really, really good setter, and she's able to spread the ball around to different places. She can set every location on the court from every location on the court. So I'm fired up that she's able to distribute the way we thought this offense could operate this year.
And how do you feel coming in today, kind of working on the things you wanted to do from yesterday?
Yeah, I think, like I said, the beginning of it, like the first 15 points, I thought was a little bit sloppy. Just the things that we've been talking about, they weren't exactly as crisp as they have been. And then I think we talked about it at the media timeout, and I thought it got better. And then I thought, again, it dropped off a little bit in the third, and then we talked about it again, and I thought it got better. So overall, happy with the way we played.
Where does the efficiency that Afina is able to play with come from, and what kind of play? How do you describe her kind of play when she's able to impact the game both offensively and defensively at such a high level?
Yeah, I think if you look at the offensive efficiency, it's range of power. I think she's a really powerful athlete, and she's able to hit in a lot of different places on the court. So, and then there's a vision piece to that also, where she can see where the block is and adjust accordingly. And I think some of it's Maddie also. I think she sets her up in the right locations to go out there and hit for that efficiency as she's in there. So then there's not a lot of middle blockers that are good at both of those skills. And I think that's really what sets her apart. And I remember Giovanni Guidetti, who I coached with, who's one of my mentors, he would always say, like, what makes a great middle blocker is the ability to block. And there's a lot of people that can go out and hit, but she really combines those two things at a really high level.
We talked about her yesterday, but another standout performance from Emily. What do you see from her and the confidence she's playing with right now?
I think I'm going to keep sounding like a broken record here, but we had a long talk just about shot selection and playing smart and not having to get a kill on every single play, and being as happy with the shove kill and the tool kill as much as she is as the putting a dent in the floor kill. And I think she's really taken it to heart, and you see it with her hitting efficiency. I think she's hit over 300 for 3 straight matches. And I told her she has the tools to go out and be an All-American if she wants to. She's got to put them together, and I think she's doing that right now.
I think looking back to last year, Coach, something that people didn't necessarily see tons in the stat sheet was digs, but this, like in game today, 60 today, the numbers are up dramatically from last year. What are you seeing from your defense as a whole?
Yeah, I think, again, we talked a little bit about the way that we're going for volleyballs, but we also talked about where we're putting them. And I think that's the thing that we're starting to improve a little bit on as we get going here. So there's an effort piece to just getting balls up in the air, but I think the ability to run our offense off of them is improving as time goes on right now. So it has been a point of emphasis. I think at the beginning of the season we were really good. I think it dipped a little bit just with time to train, and I think it's coming back up right now.
Perfect. And then last one from me. You talk about all the time about making well-rounded volleyball players. And we kind of see it today. Like Logan had 4 assists. Mo had an assist and the bench goes crazy. So kind of how important is it to you to be able to teach players in all aspects of the game?
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny because we talked about putting Taryn into block and we wouldn't have a setter on the floor. And I said, Ava's going to set unless somebody else digs the ball. And then like, what happens then? And I looked around and Morgan's like, me? And I'm like, if it comes to you, sure. And I think Kendall actually put her hand up at first. I'm like, sure, it's you. And then it went straight to her. That's why we were a little bit fired up and laughing on the sideline. But that's what this game is. It's about playing the entire game, and everyone on the floor has to do it. And it's going to be a hallmark and a trademark of this team as long as I'm the volleyball coach here, that everyone can play the entire game. And I think this team's doing that at a high level.
And then going into tomorrow, obviously, even quicker turnaround. What are the notes you'll take from today straight into tomorrow?
I think at this point, it's got to be a little bit more towards getting towards LMU. I'll probably go home tonight and watch the game and kind of come back with 3 or 4 things tomorrow that we can get better at. But as soon as we leave here and the 2 girls that come in here and talk right after that, we're getting into that room and watching video on LMU. So it's a little bit quicker of turning the page than it was yesterday.
A year ago, this match went 5 sets. What do you think this sweep says about the growth of your program?
Yeah, I was thinking about that before we came into this match. I don't know if it's growth of the program. I think it's what we've talked about the entire weekend with the sense of urgency that regardless of who we're playing, we got to play at a high level. And I think we're doing that, and you're seeing that in the scores and the sets. And I thought last year, I remember that match vividly. I thought we let down a little bit in the way that we kind of have in the middle of some sets this year. So we've really treated this weekend as a chance to play with a sense of urgency, regardless of who's on the other side of the net and who's on our side of the net. Trying to make sure that we finish teams as we get in there. And we did a good job of that. And I think that's the growth.
You talked about getting the team going in the first and third sets with the slow starts, but what's the talk like in the huddle to not get lackadaisical in the second set there when you grab a lead immediately?
Yeah, I talked to our leadership group a little bit about it, about this is the area that I think we need to grow in, of creating that sense of urgency within it. And I'll make sure I give you guys an edge when I need to, but if you guys can, and I'm pretty sure that's the talk that's happening there.